I have a very special video for you right now because this is the new Ford Super Duty F-250 versus freezing rain. But actually, it's a little bit more than that. I'm here in Dearborn, Michigan, and what I have here is the brand new F-250 Crew Cab 4x4 XL off-road package with a winch. I think if I was to buy a heavy-duty pickup, especially a Super Duty, this is pretty much very, very close to how I would configure it. Why? It has a base engine, the new 6.8 liter gasoline V8 under the hood. Let me show you. It has four-wheel drive. It has rear locker. It has Duratrack tires. It has a 12,000 pound winch. And at a slightly more affordable price. So I think this is really where it's at. And also, this truck is pretty capable for payload and towing. So let me show you the truck and then also take it for a drive on ice. Well, mostly kind of really freezing rain. So Ford has had the 7.3 liter Godzilla V8 for a while, for several years. But now they've introduced in 2023, very recently, they've introduced this engine as well. It's just about 400 horsepower, give or take a couple of horsepower, depending on which spec sheet you read. And it's made it to a 10-speed heavy-duty transmission. But the transmission behind this engine is a little bit more unique when you compare it to other Super Duties. It's not as super heavy-duty as like a Power Stroke 10-speed or maybe even a 7.3 10-speed. But I say that's just fine. It keeps the price a little bit lower and it makes the truck a little bit more affordable and still very capable. This is an XL, so you got basic headlamps, you got black painted, really beefy bumper, you got blacked out grille. I'm not a huge fan of chrome, and this is just right. This one winch cost about $3,900. Why is it so expensive? Well, yes, it's 12,000 pounds capable, but it's also been fully integrated, crash tested, and it's tucked in within this bumper. So nothing is sticking out. There is no approach angle problems compared to the other models. It has a small chin spoiler, smallish chin spoiler, because this is the off-road package. The off-road package costs about $995, so about $1,000, and it really gives you this as well. This is basically a 33-inch tall Goodyear Wrangler Duratrack tire, 285 70 R17. So this tire, you look at this. Look at these sipes. So technically, this tire. Over the years, I've had many trucks with these tires. And some people say, well, they're not ideal for icy or snowy conditions. We'll find this out today. But I think these sipes are going to help us. Let's check payload, and then I'll show you the interior. Payload, super cool, super nice, 3,270 pounds. This is a crew cab once again, Super Crew. Gross vehicle weight rating is 10,000 from the factory. So if you take that number minus 3,200, so this truck weighs about what, 6730. So curb weight, it's less than a diesel for sure. So that's why this truck has pretty good capability. Rear axle, locker, and it's hiding down there. And also 430. So why would you buy a different axle ratio? Let's take a look at the back of this truck. So you can also have a 373. This is a 430. And one of the big reasons, well, so 430, the higher the number of the ratio, that means the lower the gearing, which means it gives you a little bit more oomph off the line, but it could hurt your fuel efficiency. And I'll show you what this truck is getting. But it improves your towing by about 2,500 pounds. So this truck, this is a 2.5-inch receiver, brand new hitch, very, very strong, 7-pin connections, 4-pin connections, everything. The rating on this model is 16,600 pounds. So it's quite a bit less than a diesel version of the F-250 by about almost 6,000 pounds. But 16.6 is still a lot of towing capability. This one does not have a fifth wheel hitch attachment or a gooseneck, but you could add it. This one does have the 2 kilowatt system inverter. So it's hidden here on the right. 2000 watts maximum. So yes, this is not like a Ford F-150 Lightning power output, and there is no hybrid available in the new Super Duty. At least not yet. We don't know if Ford is thinking about it or what's going on there. Let's jump inside and then go for a drive. So yes, this is an XL, which means vinyl floor, vinyl seating, but I don't mind. I think this is very durable. It's very simple. I actually brought my sound meter because I also wanted to take it for a drive and show you, or at least get a sense of how loud or quiet this is. It's got a cubby under here, fairly large one. You could maybe put a laptop or gloves or any other items. There's a huge storage area here. There's another area here. So smaller screen, but that's okay. And then this is what I kind of wanted. I used to own an F-150 and I didn't have this, and I really, really wanted to. So this is basically a work surface. You could twist it towards yourself, put a laptop here, or maybe your lunch you're having, or put it away this way. There's cup holders here. There are cup holders here. Little cubby maybe for your pens. It says Ford right there. I think a lot of usability. I really like this design. This is my winch control. There's a wired winch control. There is a wireless. Yes, it's an expensive option, but I think if you're kind of serious about your truck capability, if you really want your heavy duty to do pretty much everything, you got to get the 4x4 like this, off-road pack winch to help others or to help yourself. Bam! You still have an actual key. And also, of course, this truck comes with an app. And in the app, you could track where the truck is. You could unlock and lock doors. You could even do a remote start functionality. Like I was saying, smaller screen. But hey, it's not a huge deal. You have a Pro Power on board. You have your towing. I really like the way Ford does their trailer tracking, managing trailers. This is not my truck. This is a loan vehicle from Ford. But it remembers how many miles you've gone. You can add multiple trailers. I really like this functionality. And I also like that the base vehicle has this. You don't have to buy a more expensive one. Pro Power on board. Yeah, this feature will also increase the price a little bit, but it's nice, really nice to have. You could kind of hear the engine idle come up just a hair when I started messing around with this. There's also utility idle and also cameras. So let me start moving. And I'm in eco mode, by the way. I've been driving around town here. I'm here for an event. So yeah, that's actually, yes, the screen is smallish, but it offers me a little bit more visibility than I otherwise would have. Let me show you fuel efficiency I'm getting before we get moving too far. So I reset it this morning. On the highway, I was getting about 16 mpg moving through rain. Right now, after a little bit of idling and driving at slower speeds, stop and go, it's 14.1-ish. So don't expect this to be, really on par with a half-ton truck. This truck is heavier. I just showed you that. This truck is more capable than a half-ton. It will be less efficient, especially... Whoa, okay, my tires are spinning a bit. But overall, it gives it really good acceleration still. So I wouldn't really shy away too much from this base engine. I know there's a little bit of confusion. I mean, the power ratings are very, very close to each other between the 7.3 V8 gas and the 6.8 V8 gas engine. But this engine is more affordable. Like I said, the transmission is a little bit different, not as super capable. So if you're towing all the time, or if you're carrying, if you're pulling trailers a lot, I would say maybe don't get this truck. But if you're gonna put a slide-in camper in the back of this, or you're carrying heavy payloads and you're occasionally towing trailers, even goosenecks, I think this could be a really great truck. If you were towing all the time, I would say get the diesel. Yes, you'll have to pay at least $10,000 more, maybe even $12,500 more for high output version, especially if you wanted the Tremor Super Duty that's taller and has bigger tires, has a little bit more capability because of that. But still, I'm all about price value. So let's measure the sound, how loud this is. About 73 decibels. It's a little bit more than 70, and 70 decibels is kind of my cutoff for a quiet truck. But once again, we have rain and we have puddles. So this is not, I would say, an uncomfortable or uncivilized truck. We also have a lot of potholes here. So I would say it has a good combination of refinement, space. These new trucks, especially also General Motors and Ford, they have really large and comfortable cabs. Ram is also pretty comfortable, but the Ram cab is a little bit smaller, especially in the back seat. I didn't show you the back seat here because I have my suitcases back there. Here's my final verdict on this Duratrack. Recently, I've been driving a lot of vehicles with a new Goodyear Wrangler Territory tires, especially the MTs. I have a Territory MT on my Chevy Colorado that I own. We had it recently on our Ford Bronco. We had it recently on the Ram TRX. So a lot of new vehicles, off-road vehicles, actually offer the Territory tire. The Duratrack is the lugs are a little bit more separated. But like you heard, it's not super loud, so the tires are not annoying. And actually, with the latest design, they're offering pretty good this wet, it's kind of cold, icy traction. So it's actually, I think this tire should get a little bit more credit. Well, this Cadillac in front of me did not use a blinker and crowded me, but I think you could hear the exhaust note is pretty nice. It's pretty macho, even with this base stock muffler. And of course you could change that a bit, maybe. You could make it a little bit more throaty or deeper. This is still a large displacement engine. And I think the 10-speed gives it a good range of capability. All right, so how much does it cost? Let's go back outside to finish this up. You're probably saying, all right, that's nice, Andre. Yes, we can tell you kind of like this truck, but how much does it cost? Well, so a crew cab two-wheel drive, brand new F-250 with a gas engine like this starts at around 49 or 50,000 bucks. That's for a two-wheel drive. Then you add a 4x4 system, of course, low range. Then you add a few packages like I described to you. This has a 360-degree camera. This has the off-road, XL off-road package, which is new for this generation of the truck. You got the winch. You've got the bed liner, spray-in bed liner in the back. So total price is just around 60,000 bucks. If it didn't have the bed liner, it'd be under 60. With the spray-in bed liner, it's probably a bit over 60,000 bucks. So is it a lot of money? You're probably yelling at the screen saying, yes, it's a lot. But when you compare it to other vehicles in the class, the new GMs, the new Rams, I think you're still getting a lot of truck for the buck. So I think the value is there. All aluminum body that won't rust in salty conditions like this in Michigan. So let me know what you think in the comments below. This has been Super Duty versus freezing rain. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time at oldtfl.com for everything automotive, the latest automotive news and videos and real world reviews. I'll see you next time.